Well, this time yesterday, unimaginable horror was unfolding in downtown Auckland. A young, armed man on a shooting spree. 40 minutes later, 3 people were dead, including the gunman, and 6 people injured, including a police officer. It was a horrific day for our emergency services. Joining us now is the Police Commissioner, Andrew Costa, who is in Dunedin. Thank you very much for your time this morning, Commissioner. What do we know about the offender? Matiu Reid, he was known to police. I mean, he was flagged, right? He was being monitored with an ankle bracelet or whatever you like to call it. How much of a risk was he?
He had a reasonably significant family violence background, and the most recent conviction was for a serious assault in a family violence context. We know that he had potentially some mental health issues and issues with alcohol. So unfortunately, that is not altogether dissimilar from a lot of cases that we come across every week. The sentence he was on was one of home detention, which did permit him to leave his home to go to work at the site. So we don't think there was any breach there that we know of at this point in time, but a tragic situation.
Yeah, it is. You said reasonably significant. I mean, they are pretty damn significant, aren't they? He kicked a woman in the head, he broke bones in her neck, and he was put on home detention. Surely this is a question that you're asking, and you say that there's quite a few other people that are in similar situations with reasonably significant crimes like this in their past, and they're out in the community.
Sadly, we have a very high rate of family violence in this country, and we have quite a lot of very serious family harm that occurs. So his case doesn't look altogether that much different from many others that we come across, but certainly serious violence and concerns about his past behaviour.
Why was he not in prison?
That question is not one for police to ask. Our job is to put people in front of the courts and let the courts take that decision. Obviously, in this case, you had a young man, a man who had a job that will have been in his favour, and the court has to balance that against the quite serious offending that he had previously. So, again, a judgment for the court, but yeah, clearly in this case, it's ended very sadly.
But I'm not asking, why police didn't put him in prison. Why wasn't he in prison? Is it just the system? Has the system changed over the last 5 years? Is it this government, like a lot of people are pointing out, that has got a bit softer and have changed the way that sentences are handed out? Why was he not in prison?
The system has always been inclined to give younger people the benefit of the doubt, and I'm certain that will have been a factor in this case. The use of home detention has grown over time. It wasn't something that we had, if we go back 20 years. But, those judgments about what to do are difficult judgments. In the end, we know we need the right people to be in prison to keep the community safe. But we also know that the vast majority of people who go to prison will come out. And so the court generally is trying to weigh whether the best result is for them to be in prison for a period of time or to try and keep their lives in a stable position if they have employment, all that sort of thing.
Commissioner, you just said benefit of the doubt. He was given the benefit of the doubt, and lots of people are. Benefit of the doubt, and then he went on a shooting spree in downtown Auckland.
Look, I am not saying that we landed in the right place in that case. What I'm saying is young people, generally speaking, will be given greater opportunity to rehabilitate than people who are older. And so I can't speak for the court, I can't speak for the judge. We have the sentencing notes released yesterday. They need to speak for themselves.
I mean, people will be asking how many other people have been given benefit of the doubt and are out there in our communities and could do something like this. How many are we talking who are of similar sort of criminal background to this guy, reasonably significant crimes to their names, who are on home detention?
Look, I can't speak to that specifically, but what I can say is that family harm is widespread in New Zealand. It's a generational problem, and there's lots of quite serious family harm. Most of those people don't go on to hurt innocent members of the public. However, in this case, clearly that's what's occurred.
We've got to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. That is Andrew Costa, the Police Commissioner.